with continuing coverage of the 1995 State Boys High School Hockey Tournament. This is the final semifinal game of the day, and it should be a dandy. The Hounds and the Hornets. The Hounds of Duluth East, the Hornets of Edina. A team that has not been to the state tournament for a few years, but they have made 18 trips in the past and have won themselves 3 tournament titles. The last one they won was back in 1988. The Duluth Greyhounds, on the other hand, are making their 8th tournament appearance, their 2nd straight year here, and they have won only 1 title. That came back in 1960. And the Duluth Greyhounds are a team, Louis, that is extremely young, but boy, are they a team that is very, very good. And if you think they're good this year, they'll be even better next year.
That's right. They've only got 5 seniors, and they do have 5 sophomores. When you are led by people like Spihar and Locker, boy, can they put pucks in the net.
Yes, they can.
That line had 93 goals this year.
Let's go downstairs now and join in with PA announcer Dick Stanford.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our 2nd semifinal game of the evening. The winner of this game will meet Moorhead for the 1995 State Hockey Championship. To begin our introductions, let's meet the cheerleaders from the respective schools. First, the cheerleaders from Duluth East. Charity Rapp, Jody Balf, Gina Dickledge, Katie Roberts, Angela Marmon, Christina Thompson, and Gregory the Greyhound. And now let's meet the Edina cheerleaders. Gail Rosen, Molly Hannes, Jenny Mackley, Emily Carell, Margaret Smith, Sarah Benson, and Natalie Feckler. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your starting lineups. This semifinal game matches the champions of Section 7AA with a record of 23-3-0, the Greyhounds from Duluth East. In goal, number 39, Cade Lettingham. At defense, number 4, Ryan Cool. And number 7, Dylan Mills. At center for the Hounds, number 8, Matt Meyer. His wings, number 15, Dan Zabukover. And number 16, Ryan Engel. The head coach of the Greyhounds is Mike Randolph. And now let's meet the champions of Section 6AA with a record of 25-1, the Hornets from Edina. Starting in goal, number 1, Dan Byron. At defense, number 6, John McCambridge. And number 7, Jeff Salmon. At center for the Hornets, number 21, Neil Johnson. And his wings, number 12, Brad Carlson. And number 20, Dan Carlson. The head coach of the Hornets is Bart Larson. Your officials for this semifinal game, the referees Earl Anderson and Dale Smedzow. And the linesman is Derek Shepard. At this time, we will have the presentation of the sportsmanship code by the players from Duluth East, Matt Meyer, and from Edina, Neil Johnson.
Good evening. Welcome to the Minnesota State High School League State Hockey Tournament. We appreciate your attendance at this tournament and hope you enjoy it.
The State High School Tournament is being played under the rules of the Minnesota State High School League. These rules provide for fair play and good sportsmanship among the players and the coaches. As athletes, we ask the spectators promote the ideals of good sportsmanship, fair play, and respect for our opponents and the calls of the officials.
Thank you, Neil, Matt, and we're ready for the face-off. Edina.
All right, and we're all hipped up for that, too. It's getting to be late tonight. We've got another hockey game here to go. Lou Nanny and Wally Shaver with you, and hope you're enjoying this action tonight. It's been fantastic hockey all day long here at the St. Paul Civic Center.
And then that's for Edina, Dan Byron, who's got a 2.4 goals against average and has been playing very well for him. He's a fellow that they have to lean heavily on here tonight, Wally, because you know he's going to get tested with that offensive power of Spiehar and Locker in particular of Duluth East. You look at Duluth East in goal, again, number 39, Cade Lenningham, who started last night. He's got a 2.66 goals against average. He's got a Canadian flag on his helmet as well. And he had a good game last night for him. And he was a surprise starter to some, but he came in and showed why the coach chose him. He had an outstanding night last night. And he has got to look at some scorers up front. Neil Johnson and the Carlson brothers, Dan and Brad, are people that contest you.
Yep, they had a very fine performance yesterday, that top line, when they beat Champlin Park 3-2 to get here to the semis. Linesman Derek Shepard is calling the two centers to the middle of the pond. It'll be Meyer for Duluth. Going up against Johnson of Edina. Puck is dropped, picked up and shot into the zone by Zabukover. Heading in hard after it is Engel for Duluth East. Brings it around the other side, looking for Meyer. Meyer touches it, picked up now by Engel, who cuts in front, he scores! Wow! Ryan Engel makes it 1-0 Greyhounds.
Well, Duluth East started off right at the outset. The defensemen move up, and they don't let Edina get out of the neutral zone. They put the puck in the zone, and Engel made a great play as he came around the net and took that puck from the board and really got a high shot from in close to beat Byron. Watch the forecheck here. Engel goes right after it. Puck's going to go over behind the net, and look at Meyer, number 8. He's going to go bottle up the defenseman. As he does that, Engel's going to pick it up, step out, and get it right upstairs over Byron, who's down somewhat low, and he put it right under the crossbar.
Nice.
15 seconds into the game, and Duluth East is on the board.
1-0. The Greyhounds up on top, trying to avenge their loss at their Bulldogs. Suffered here at the University of Minnesota campus at Mariucci Arena, losing in overtime to the Golden Gophers 5-4.
Watch the way Duluth defensemen have been playing. They are really closing the gap between the forwards and the defense. They don't give you any room to operate. The best part of their play is in the neutral zone, where they really trap you. They always seem to have men on the puck carriers, and they shut down the passing lanes very well. I think the best part of their game is their checking.
Armbruster playing the puck ahead for Stafford, too far, and it hops off of the stick of Flaherty into Nick Gunderson of Duluth into his own bench, so we'll drop it again right outside the Duluth East blue line.
And that's another thing, talking about Duluth East, their defensemen will hit you. They're a physical defense. They will take the body a lot, so Edina's going to have to play through checks, and at the same time, Edina's going to have to use their body to try and slow down Duluth too.
It's warm in here tonight. The ice still a little bit wet down there, and Edina's called offside as play resumes.
Just a little bit ahead of the play. Armbruster a little over anxious. Stafford got that pass, and he was trying to break wide. And a quick offside, and Edina's got to get something going on their offensive game as quickly as they can to just nullify that quick lead that Duluth East has gotten already.
From the draw, puck comes back into the Duluth zone. Here is Mills with it, turning it right back up ice. A long bomb for Spiehar, not there. Spiehar now picks it up, has Locker with him, tries to feed it down low, and heads over top the goal. Off on the far side, Armbruster lost the puck. Stafford starting back for Edina, but his pass to center is stopped. Mills to Cool, but we have a whistle, and a high sticking penalty is being handed out by referee Dale Smedsmo.
I think Patosha's going to get it down in the corner. When he went in forechecking, he got that stick up too high. And this is going to give Edina a chance to get on the board as they trail 1-0 early. Duluth East coming out flying like they did last night against Jefferson, scoring very early. Here's number 20. See him with that high stick right there on Armbrust, right along the boards and right in front of the referee.
Jeff Salmon circling in his own end for Edina. Headmanning a pass to Dan Carlson, but they're called for icing. No, they're not. What is it?
It was an offside play.
Okay.
Some of the things you have to watch when you're nervous, you get over anxious. When you're over anxious, you go offside early, you miss little passes that you should be making. The adrenaline's flowing so quickly, and you're so excited that you just don't play as cool as you normally do. And that lead of Duluth East unsettled Edina somewhat.
Meyer got a shot on goal, turned away by Byron. Hornets starting it up. Brad Carlson over to defenseman Jeff Sapman, one of the co-captains. Up to Johnson. Dean Johnson is slowed down, trying to cross into the zone. Back into the behind the goal it comes. This is Stevens for it. Back to the point for Salmon. Now to Stevens. Out in front. Puck is clear, but not out. Brad Carlson getting it over to Neil Johnson. Now into the slot. The puck is loose. Here's a shot by Carlson. It was played, however, I thought, by number 20, Dan Carlson. Apparently not.
You're right, and he's arguing about it. Number 12 did touch that puck. Brad Carlson knocked it down with his hand, and he touched it first before the shot was taken. That's why he's a little upset. I don't think the referee from the angle he was on could see the blade of his stick touch the puck. And that hurt Edina because they were getting a shot on net and had that puck in the zone. But what a heavy check that the Duluth defenseman laid.
Just going to say, there was a huge check that Brad Carlson. Was it Flaherty that took it?
Yeah.
Delivered it. Here comes Grand, who picked up a goal yesterday against Champlin, throwing it into the zone. Trying to get to it is number 16, Yuriko. Back to 17, Farrell. Farrell looking to the point, finds Wasley. Now to the other side for Grand. His shot's blocked. Greyhounds get it. Coming up the left side now is Soikanen. Soikanen lost it in his skates, but he's got good speed. Targets to the corner boards for it. Lost the play there to Farrell. Hornets back. Yuriko. Number 16, Joe Yuriko. Good size, is a chest club champ in Edina. Plays it into the zone, but Gunderson breaks it up. Back to the point. The shot hits the goal post. Long bomb by Salmon off the pipe. Now several players jamming it up. And finally the whistle stops the play with just 8 seconds remaining in the Edina power play.
Well, Edina really haven't had any opportunities from in close around the slot area, but they're getting the puck towards the net, and they've got to have some forward around the net in position to tip him or screen that goalie. Here's a shot from Salmon just off the side of the net right there. And came very close on Lettingham. I don't think he saw it till the last second.
Cool cranks the puck down ice. And that'll do it for the Edina power play. On the ice, Patosha. Locker steals the puck. Here he is, the dangerous Chris Locker. Had 85 points this year coming into tonight's game. They're 26. Down the right side, Stafford for Edina. Puts the brakes on. Moves it to the point. Shot there by McCambridge. Goes wide, and scooping it up behind the goal is Mills. Dylan Mills, an all-conference hockey player. Gets it once more. This time goes up the middle. It's blocked and intercepted. Here's McCambridge shooting. Blocked by Cool. Puck is still loose. Spihar left it to Cool, but it's intercepted. Now Stevens with it for Edina. He lost out. Patosha throws a check. Cool comes in, throws one as well, knocking the stick out of an Edina player's hands. That was Armbrust. It's still not out. Armbrust takes the pass and the shot, and it rises over top the goal. On the left side, Salmon fires it, hits the leg, and skids to the far side. First guy into it is Dan Carlson. Gets it loose and popped it in front, but it's cleared.
Edina looks a lot sharper thus far than they did last night, Wally. They're passing the puck better. They're using their body more effectively. A couple of good plays by McCambridge, stepping into that zone, keeping that puck in, and almost getting a goal.
And they certainly have to watch out for Duluth East, throwing those cherry pickers out there for those long bomb passes. There's a loose one out in front, a backhander, right on goal. The save by Byron. The puck pops back in behind the net. Opportunity there for Engel, who scored earlier. Back come the Edina Hornets. Johnson with a shot. Right on, and that's gloved and held by Lettingham. And a little bit of pushing going on, and they've got the old attitudes going already. 1-0 the score. The Hounds leading. We'll be back for more of 95 Minnesota State High School hockey tourneys.
The tournaments on 9 are brought to you in part by Dairy Queen, Great Clips, and your GMC truck dealers.
You have to feel that Edina played Duluth East earlier this year, lose 7-6 in overtime, and really has to feel pretty good about their chances, even though Duluth East beat Jefferson so badly last night.
Engel almost had a break. He was stopped at center. Now carrying on is Meyer, shooting it in. Puck goes back in behind the goal. Greyhounds trying to attack. Number 12 with the puck is Dave Almquist, centering it. There's a shot that goes just wide. Almquist getting it again. Rolling it back in behind the net for Mathias. Mathias falls, and the Hornets recover. Anderson lost it. Mathias centers it. Puck still loose behind the goal. Mathias getting it again, pummeling it out in front. And a shot there by Almquist is blocked. Hornets clear, and they'll take the momentum off here by an icing call.
Almquist off the fourth line, coming in, filling in on that line there. Had a real good opportunity from the slot, standing right in front. He got a nice pass out from behind the net, only to have it saved. Duluth East has got scoring ability on all their lines, and they move the puck very quickly and well.
Edina breaking out, 2 against 3. Across center ice now is Yuriko. He's checked. Puck at center, and backing up is Jeff Salmon. Pumping it in. Edina coming hard with 2 forecheckers. Peter Graham, the first guy in there, but it's rung around now for number 7, Dylan Mills. He leaves it for Spihar. Dave Spihar with a 3-goal pure hat trick last night in an incredible win over Jefferson High School, ending their 3-year reign as state champs. Puck centered in front for Spihar. He scores! Dave Spihar!
You could see that one coming, couldn't you, Wally? As soon as Locker went behind the net, did you notice Spihar come from the right side, right in front? Uh-oh, here it comes. It only takes a second, and he got the puck on his stick. It looked like the goalie stopped it, but he pulls it right across and by him. Watch Locker behind the net, number 19, and as soon as he gets control, right here, the goalie stops it, lets it go, but Locker's coming from the far side. Patosha gives it to him. Now, we'll look at Spihar. Quickly moves right in front, comes across to his backhand. He just pulls it into the corner there as he's getting taken down. He doesn't need much room, Spihar. He's got 52 this season. That's his 53rd.
That's incredible.
You don't leave him around the net. Some way, somehow, goal scorers get open in front of the net, and they put it in the net.
53 goals for Dave Spihar, number 1 in the state in scoring. His centerman, Locker, was number 2 in the state. And there's a big scrum going on down there, and there's some anxious Duluth East Greyhounds playing fired-up hockey. They lead 2-0. We'll be back for more from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Hi, I'm Doug Wu. Whether you skate for fun or as a professional, every advantage counts. A few minutes in the Super Sharp machine, and you'll have the blades of a champion.
You could win a $3,000 vacation package in the First Bank Tournament Sweepstakes. Just stop in and ask about IRA portfolio from First Bank and FBS Investment Services. Grand prize winners will be announced during the halftime of the boys AA Basketball Championship live on KMSP UPN 9. Banging along the boards in the Edina zone and working out of the pack with the puck is Armbruster. He rounds his net, looking for Stevens, but leaves a trailer instead for number 4, Anderson. Checked into the wall by number 14 of Duluth. That's Brandon Johnson of the 4th line. Hornets will clear it down. Duluth East changing on the go. Back after it is Flaherty. Colin Flaherty, who referees hockey up in Duluth, shoots it all the way down, and it'll be an icing charge against the Greyhounds, bringing a face-off back in their defensive zone.
East loves to play at a high tempo. They've got a very quick hockey team, and they keep under motion all the time. And that's one of the reasons why they're so effective. They are a strong forechecking team. They close the gaps. They don't give you any room every time you pass the puck or turn around, someone's on you. They back one another up extremely well.
Salmon holding the point for Edina. Feeds it off to the right side for Brad Carlson. Johnson throws a check. Carlson trying to pry it loose. Does for Johnson, but it's swept away from him on a nice effort by Cool. Hounds charging back. Zabukover clearing it into the zone. Brad Carlson lobs it in the air. Knocked down with a high stick, and that will stop play.
Meyer knocked it down with a high stick, and he went to play it, and as he was looking at the puck to play it, knowing it's going to cause a whistle. But Dan Carlson, number 20, was coming full speed, and he was going to hit him anyway, and at the last second, Meyer just sidestepped him. But Dan Carlson's only a sophomore. He's got 27 goals, the leading goal scorer in that hockey club. Dangerous around the net.
Good future for Edina. And a great one for Duluth East. East entering this game with 5 seniors. Only 4 of them play with regularity. There will be a power up north next year. Dan Carlson shoots it in. Is met right in front of the Duluth bench by 2 of the Greyhounds. Puck is run around to the far side, and Patosha takes it off the boards. Eric Patosha, who'd like to be a U.S. Marshal when he gets out of school, gets it up ice. Here comes a shot right on screen. The rebound by Patosha, and he missed it as Locker had him set up. Edina's Peter Grand now coming back. Whoa! Could have been 3-0 very easily. Yuriko racing after the puck, gets it, tried to center for Grand, and nobody there. Back at the point, Anderson holds it in. Patosha breaks it up. Spihar now to Locker. Cross the line. Hook checked away, and a nice effort there by Edina's defense. Icing will be called here as Yuriko shot it from his side of center all the way down, and that's icing. 2-0, Duluth East leading. We've passed the halfway point of this period, and we'll be back to downtown St. Paul for more semifinal hockey.
In naming the all-new Mercury Mystique one of the 10 best cars, Car and Driver said you might easily mistake it for a much more expensive European sports sedan. But perhaps the most surprising quote of all is just $15,850 for this Mystique, priced so much less than a comparably equipped Nissan Altima and Honda Accord. The competition has no comment.
For 2 tickets to the Minneapolis Auto Show, test drive Mercury Mystique at your dealer today.
Eric Patosha is not going to have a better chance than this. Locker shoots, a rebound comes right to him. He's going to wonder how he didn't score that one right off the pipe.
But his team leads 2-0. Here they come again. Leading the rush up ice is Dave Almquist, clearing it into the zone. Almquist, a junior and a D1 hopeful. Long shot from the point goes wide. Edina trying to bank it off the boards. They do. Coming up ice is Stafford. Ben Stafford clearing it in, but a shot right back out by Ryan Cool. Cool getting it once more. Here he comes. 4.0 grade point average for Mr. Cool. As he clears it in, the Greyhounds make a wholesale change of all 5 players. Edina roaring back through the middle, trying to break through is Dan Carlson. Puck poked away from him, and Neil Johnson makes a big circle at center.
Well, he's quick, that Dan Carlson. You see him just explode on those skates.
Nobody on the far side. Salmon for Edina. They're wearing the white with the green and gold trim. The Greyhounds wearing the navy blue with the white and red trim. Johnson throws a check. Dan Carlson gets the puck. It's loose out in the crease. Johnson whacking at it as he's down, and trying to find it there is letting him creeping along the ice to smother it.
And Gunderson right there to help out because he saw Dan Carlson coming around the other side, and he was going to make certain that that fellow doesn't get any loose pucks around the crease because he's dangerous. There's a heavy check by Dan Carlson on Gunderson, and as that puck comes around, they help out their goaltender very well, and that's what Duluth defense did last night. That's what they're doing tonight. The Edina defense is playing very intelligently as far as the long passes go. They're not getting caught up thus far. Duluth last night had great transition from defense to offense and completed about 4 70-foot passes. Edina defense tonight very alert to that. See how they're pulling out very quickly. Yep.
And here's Spihar, who got a couple of goals last night on those long bombs, but Jeff Salmon was back to cover him. Salmon now takes him into the boards. Johnson joins the fray. Patosha gets the puck loose. A Hornet penalty is coming up. Here's Locker dumped to the ice. And the call is made by the officials. Power play, Duluth will be back to the St. Paul Civic Center for the Greyhound Extra Man opportunity when we return.
My dad once said, 90% of sports is from the neck up. Experience tells me he was right. They say only the strong survive. Experience tells me it's true. Now, I know I'm just a rookie, but I see what it takes to succeed. Hard work, strength, experience.
Your GMC truck dealers are a proud sponsor of this telecast.
One of Edina's top players, Captain Neil Johnson, goes out for high sticking, and Duluth East on the power play.
Puck rolls into the corner. Hornets clear. It takes a favorable bounce, and here comes Armbruster across the line one-on-one, but it rolls away from him. Crash they go into the goalie, and back comes the Greyhounds. Flaherty across the line, leaves a trailer for Spihar. Goes in deep. He looks like a fire plug out there, but has got good wheels to go with it. Spihar centers, Locker shoots, and that's just wide. Wrapped off the glass by Anderson, but not out. He'll get a second try, and this time it bounces into the center ice zone. Whoops, there's a trip going down to the ice with Matt Mathias, no call. Spihar can't control, and Anderson whacks it back to center. Mills sends it loose. Trying to cross the line was number 16, Engel, but he's jolted on a nice check there from Reed Anderson. Loose one in front. Edina with a shot. Blocked. Oh, and Duluth East got careless in their own end, handing it over to Farrell.
Well, Flaherty tried to center that puck out. As he passed it, it hit the net and came straight out. Came right on Edina's stick, and that's why Edina had a good opportunity. Here's the pass. Flaherty stops, he shoots, and right off the goaltender, right in front of the net. And boy, Lettingham had to make a save there, or Edina could have got on the board with a shorthanded goal.
Peter Grand, first one in for it for Edina, but he falls, and this is taken now by Dylan Mills. Mills up the right side for Meyer. He started the game at center. Meyer, one of the captains, feeds it down low. Takes a return pass from Engel. Back onto the point. Mills shoots. Nice save for Byron, who goes to his knees.
Good shot by him, too. Nice and low. He got that one right on the net. And Mills had a lot of wood on that shot. And right in front, Duluth had a player, but Edina defenseman Wasley goes right out and takes him out. You see the goalie could see that all the way. Actually, that's McCambridge taking him out, and the goalie could see that and made a good save. Good low shot, though, by Mills. That's the way you want to shoot the puck from the point and put it on the net.
Locker wins the draw. Back to the point for Spihar. Now to number 7, Mills. Back to Locker. To Mills, number 7. Mills across to his partner, Cool. Back to Mills. Now to Locker. Locker has an open man. Feeds it in front, but Mathias fanned on it. Spihar to Cool. Back to Spihar. Deep slot, winds, fires, takes the stick right out of the hands of Stevens. Puck goes wide. At the point, Cool keeps it alive. Locker behind the goal to Spihar. Dave Spihar now working up the half wall. Stops, but throws it down low to Locker. He rolls up into that cycling effort, centers it out in front. Spihar stuck behind, but the puck was deflected. Penalty has expired to Johnson. Locker behind the goal. Now Mathias gets the puck for Duluth. Lost it. And Johnson, the penalized player, starts back up ice for the Hornets. Going wide to the outside. Trying to cut in. Ridden out of the play and tied up quite well by Mr. Cool, who clears with the help of his teammate Mills. Edina catching change. Try to center it by Carlson. Dan feeds his brother Brad in front, but he was tied up by 2 Greyhounds. Now Brad taps it off the wall to Dan to make that Johnson. Mills clears around to the far side. Almquist with it, trying to get it out. Can't. Second effort does. And the Greyhounds shoot it from center all the way down ice and go out for a line change. 1.5 to go in the period. Here's a steal. Here's a shot by Zabukover. That's blocked. Puts it out in front of game. It's swept away by the goalkeeper, Byron.
Edina is moving the puck out of their zone better than they did last night, and that's helping relieve the pressure, because if you turn pucks over in your zone against Duluth East, you're going to pay. But it's one shot. Edina gets control, and they're moving it pretty well.
Nice check thrown in the corner, but it's going to be a penalty called against Zabukover. I thought that was a pretty good hit, but apparently referee Smizmo didn't. And it's a charging call against number 15, Dan Zabukover. Greyhounds lead 2-0, but they'll be shorthanded when we return to the downtown St. Paul Civic Center.
Today's the day. Toyota dealers everywhere are celebrating the beginning of spring. The right time to get special financing on the right car. The all-new Tercel. Beautifully designed inside and out. Tercel has a low starting price, and you can get Tercel beautifully equipped for just a little more. It's Toyota's Today's the Day sales event. And now with special financing, your Toyota dealer wants to get your spring off to a great start.
While you're looking at Zabukover in the penalty box, Edina getting an opportunity in the power play. Duluth East playing very well, leading 2-0. But Edina also playing better than they did last night, mainly because their defensemen are playing better. Last night they were having a lot of turnovers. They weren't watching men, and most importantly, they weren't as physical as they are tonight. They're trying to slow down those fast forwards from Duluth. They're using their bodies pretty effectively thus far.
Edina's been outshot 7-3 in this game. Here comes Fitzgerald, make that number 10, Soikinen. A short-handed situation, slowing things down for a bit as we enter the final minute of the period. And everybody seemed to have lost sight of the puck, so we'll get a new one since it went out of play and face it off just outside of the Greyhound blue line. We want to thank Schneiderman's for sponsoring our 24-hour weather updates. Schneiderman's, we're looking forward to that warm weather you're presenting to us. And you can feel it in here tonight, eh?
Boy, is it ever warm in here. That's making the ice a little slower tonight. The puck is,
yeah, it is
not sliding nearly as well as it did last night. You see some wet spots on the ice, and obviously it hurts the passing and the puck handling.
Matt Meyer coming up solo for Duluth East with a half a minute to go in the period. Good job by Myers. He plays it in deep. Now Edina coming out. Whoa, Dan Carlson's pass was blocked. He gets it right back again. Speeds through the zone. Drops it back. Here's a centering pass to Brad Carlson. Goes off a leg wide. Rolling right back is Engel. Off the all-senior line. Engel winds and fires. And that one just goes wide. 10 seconds left. There's still time for another attempt. Dan Carlson retrieves the puck. Crosses the blue line. Hands it off to Johnson. Going wide, you'll have to hurry. And not enough time as the buzzer sounds here at the Civic Center, bringing a close to our first 15-minute period. And a lot of confidence in that Duluth Greyhound team that we have seen. But actually, Edina, I thought looked pretty good, Lou, in the last couple of minutes.
Edina played better this period than they played all last night. Duluth East still had the class of the period and certainly had many more good opportunities, but Edina is moving better. They're passing the puck well and are keeping their feet moving. Last night it seemed like they were standing around quite a bit against Champlin. They weren't passing the puck well at all, and they were really not thinking well in their own zone. They turned over the puck far too much. Had they done that tonight against Duluth East, the score would have been 5 or 6 by now. But Duluth East has started off where they finished off last night with a quick lead, 2-0, and continue to move along very well.
2 goals early on our DuPont scoreboard. Shows the Greyhounds up on top. Let's go downstairs now with Jeff Grayson.
All right, thank you very much, Wally and Lou. For the 6th straight year, Toyota and your local Toyota dealer are proud to sponsor the Toyota School Spirit Competition. Entries have been collected from across the state, and one lucky school will win the use of a new Toyota Previa van for 1 year. This year, Rocori High School is a finalist. Rocori High School's principal is Doug Stanke, and the school is located in Cold Spring, Minnesota. Now remember, we'll have a live drawing Saturday night during the Class AA Championship game to determine the winner. We will continue our coverage from the St. Paul Civic Center, including a Minnesota 9 news update when we continue with the tournaments on 9.
You know, that son of mine is really something. Well, he's doing field research on high-altitude geological rock formations.
Nothing's more intense than snotting Mountain Dew.
Education is priceless.
Get a free basketball when you buy Reebok footwear at Sears, plus other great offers inside Mountain Dew multi-packs.
You're invited to the biggest, most spectacular sleep sale of the year, Slumberland's Mega Sleep Sale, the bedroom and mattress sale that has no equal. Through Monday, save hundreds on this gorgeous engraved sleigh bed in queen or king, just $3.99. Mega savings on every brand name mattress in the store. Plus, take an extra 10% off the sale price of every premium mattress set. And Slumberland guarantees your total satisfaction or your money back. Mega sleep savings through Monday only at Slumberland.
We believe big things come in small packages. Take the all-new Geo Metro, for example. It's big on fuel economy, 44 city, 49 highway. It's big on safety features like dual airbags and anti-lock brakes, and it's really big on choices, from the sporty coupe to the roomy four-door sedan. In fact, the only thing small about the all-new Metro is its price. The all-new Geo Metro coupe and sedan. Small cars, big ideas. Get one today at your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealers.
From the day I opened my business, it was the best in town. Oh, these frames are you. Only nobody knew it but me. Now, I had to get my name out there and be seen, so I called a U.S. West Direct consultant about a Yellow Pages ad. Now, how else could I reach almost every home and every company every day? Well, thanks to the Yellow Pages, my new business just took off. Well, next year, I'm getting an even bigger ad, especially considering my clientele.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Good evening, I'm Robin Robinson with this Minnesota 9 News Update. John Costalupis finally turned up, but police were not able to arrest him. The former research assistant shot himself in the head with a gun out inside the Mayo building on the U of M campus. An all-points bulletin had been issued for Costalupis. He's accused of shooting Mario Ruggiero, a professor at Northwestern University. The two men once worked together at the University of Minnesota. The police say Costalupis shouted, "You ruined my life," before shooting Ruggiero. Costalupis claimed Ruggiero took credit for a project and got Costalupis fired. And neighbors say the family moved in just a few months ago, so they didn't think much about them until tonight. A 15-year-old girl is dead, and her mother's live-in boyfriend is under arrest. He confessed to beating the girl. He told police he snapped, and apparently it wasn't the first time he was arrested for battery. Join us for more news during the second period.
Mainly clear and 38 degrees in the Twin Cities. Up in Duluth, a bit cooler at 27. More next hour.
In a world that's moving so fast, who has time to wait? You're looking for a little convenience. Minnesota 9 News has the right information at a time that is convenient. Minnesota 9 News, so you can get two things you need. One, to stay informed, and two, get some sleep. Minnesota 9 News is interactive with the 9 line, a way for viewers to call and tell us what they think.
I look forward to watching your broadcast because I know I'm going to find out lots of information that is not available on the other channels.
Say you're a little phone shy, but you like to surf the net. Internet users can leave email or find our station information because Minnesota 9 News is online. You want convenience? Plug into a newscast for the information age. Minnesota 9 News. Now, the Northland Ford Reports, brought to you by your Northland Ford dealers.
Welcome back between periods of our final game here at the St. Paul Civic Center. Duluth East has the jump on Edina, 2-0. And this is the Northland Ford Dealers Report as we bring you every intermission of the 95 tournament. A couple of notes to pass along to you from the hockey world. The Gophers beat UMD, but not by much, 5-4 in overtime. The Timberwolves won tonight 109-103 over the LA Lakers. We do have some girls section finals to report to you. All these teams advancing to next week's girls state tournament to be seen here on Minnesota 9. It will be Rochester Mayo
They defeated Owatonna tonight in 1AA. It was Woodbury over Hastings 54-38 in 3AA. Tartan beat Mounds View 67-49 in 4AA. 7AA Duluth East over St. Francis. In an 8AA it was, and I seem to remember St. Cloud Apollo girls promising us they'd be back this year as players, and they did. They defeated Moorhead 64-55, so all is not good news for Moorhead tonight. We'll have the Class A scores later as we get them in. So that's it for now. We will return with some highlights from the first period and more live coverage of the 1995 Minnesota State High School Boys Hockey Tournament.
Things have changed since 1965. Time and progress march on. And though the land hasn't changed, how you work it has. But one thing has stood the test of time. Banvel. It's still the broadleaf herbicide for corn, for control that lasts from spike to canopy. Sure, things change in 30 years. Banvel just hasn't needed to. Banvel. 30 years, and still the best.
Your Ford dealer puts a lot of standard equipment into every F-150 pickup, like a driver's side airbag, rear anti-lock brakes, a powerful 4.9-liter engine, a bigger payload than Dodge, and more torque than Chevy. And now, with over $2,900 in package savings, your Northland Ford dealer can put you in an F-150 for just $199 a month for 24 months. So get into the truck we put the world in, the Ford F-150, only from the Truck Authority.
This is Hardee's Sandwich of the Month, the delicious bacon cheeseburger. Why? Because Americans have had a love affair with bacon cheeseburgers for years. And at Hardee's, you can get this big, juicy bacon cheeseburger with medium fries and a medium drink for just $2.99. And there isn't a better, more popular combination on earth than a bacon cheeseburger with fries and a drink. Hardee's Bacon Cheeseburger Combo, just $2.99. Big taste, little money, and that's what people want.
Stuck in traffic? Too bad you don't have a cellular phone.
Ah, they're too expensive.
What if I told you that right now you can get this Motorola flip phone at Audio King absolutely free?
Really?
And that US West Cellular will give you 2 whole months of unlimited weekend and evening airtime free.
Really? Free calls?
And US West Cellular has low-cost calling plans starting for as little as $29.95 per month.
Well, I can handle that. What do I have to do?
Get out of that traffic jam and get to Audio King before March 12th.
I can do that.
Back at the Civic Center in the first intermission of the final game, Duluth East with a 2-0 lead over Edina. Jim Gilliland back with you at St. Paul Civic Center. But to tell you how they got to this point in the game, review of the first period highlights, here's Wally and Lou.
It didn't take long, Lou, because right off the opening face-off, the Duluth Greyhounds came down and scored, very similar to what they did in last night's game when they upset Jefferson 5-0.
15 seconds and they're on the board. Thanks to some strong forechecking. Meyer goes in to cut off a puck behind the net, and he gets his line mate Engel. We'll see it on the replay here. Engel coming from behind the net, picks it up, the loose puck comes out in front, and boy, did he ever make a good shot up high. Watch as the puck is thrown into the zone, and watch number 8. He's on the right of your screen now. He senses right now the puck's going behind the net, and he starts heading there to block the defenseman off. As he does that, Engel comes out, picks up the loose puck, and watch how high he gets that from in close. That's what you got to do if you're going to score, and he tucks it right under the crossbar. Great goal by Engel, 15 seconds into the period. A lot of help there from Meyer, and Zabukover put it in, so he also got an assist. Then watch Spihar. Lockhart, number 16 or 19, is going to go behind the net. When Lockhart goes behind, Spihar goes in front. And as soon as he does that, you know if Lockhart gets the puck, it's going to be in Spihar's stick, and it is. And he very quickly moves, pulls it across into the far corner, and that's 2-0. When you get a goal scorer alone in front of the net, the goalie hasn't got much chance.
And unfortunately for Edina, they had 2 guys coming in on one there. It left somebody open. The wrong guy was open out in front of the goal.
Well, what happens is he turns his back on the player behind him, being Spihar. Spihar just jumped into that opening. All alone, he put it away.
The Hounds lead 2-0. Let's go downstairs to Jim Gilliland.
Okay, thanks, fellas. Bart Larson did say going into the dressing room that his team was behind 2-0 to Duluth East. In that game they played earlier this year, it wound up going into overtime. Edina just needs to get their legs. We'll see. The Hornets down by 2. Back with second period action from live coverage of the 1995 Minnesota State High School Boys Hockey Tournament.
Today's the day you've been waiting for. The day to get a Toyota Camry. With special financing and a low starting price. And your Toyota dealer also has a great Camry lease program. A low monthly lease payment gets you the car that's the gold standard. Celebrate spring. See your Toyota dealer now during Toyota's Today's the Day Spring Sales Event.
We're just thinking of trim, kind of clean it up a little is all I had in mind.
I think
trim is really all I need. Yeah, really, just a trim.
Unlike some salons, Great Clips offers a pre-cut consultation, so you get the cut you want.
It's the 90s.
Not the cut they want to give you. For the price of just a perm at some salons, Great Clips offers a complete Zotos perm, including the shampoo, cut, and style, leaving those other perms, well, a little flat. Great Clips. Guaranteed satisfaction, guaranteed style.
Before there was Accent, there were tough grasses like quackgrass, wild proso millet, and chattercane. Before Accent, there were foxtails. Now there is corn. Beautiful, bountiful corn. Because Accent is the one post that works with nature to do what no other can today. What no other will tomorrow.
Why is KS95 your favorite radio station?
Best variety in the Twin Cities. Great station to turn to. Better mix.
A lot of variety.
Keeps me going.
Good music.
Gives me a lot of energy throughout the day.
70s, 80s, and 90s.
I think it plays a great variety. KS95.
Definitely KS95.
The best variety of the 70s, 80s, and today. KS95.
KMSP TV, UPN 9.
As you can see from our GMC Vikingland cam, there's some shiny spots on that playing surface down below. That means there's still some wet water there, and that could be a factor as this game progresses because it's warm inside the St. Paul Civic Center, and that means it could be a little tougher sledding for some of these players down there. Take a look now at the U.S. West Direct Yellow Pages and our shots on goal. Pretty much a one-sided period, as the score indicates. This will verify that. Duluth East coming out strong, coming out fast, coming out hard early on, getting the shots on goal and continuing to roll through the period.
They looked sharp again in that first period, as they did yesterday against Jefferson. They haven't been able to connect on any of the long passes like they did against Jefferson. I think Edina looked at that film last night and says, we got to make certain nobody's behind us. But other than that, Duluth East has had quite a bit of the puck control, and it certainly has had a greater part of time possession of the puck in the offensive zone.
And up in whatever zone, we don't know, maybe the O zone here at the Civic Center, is Jeff Grayson. Jeff, where the heck are you?
Well, I'm directly across from you guys. Maybe the scoreboard's blocking you. I am with a coaching legend in the state of Minnesota, Willard Eichela, who coached Edina from 1958 through 91 and coached first. I guess I'll ask you what you thought of the first period. I know your Hornets are down 2-0.
Well, it's only 2-0, and in high school hockey, that's not a very big lead. I'm glad it's not 4-0 like Jefferson faced last night, but Edina will come back. They're a team that never gives up, and they play hard. They just got to get a few more shots on goal and get that first goal, and good things will happen.
Your teams won 8 state titles, 19 appearances during your coaching career. I've got to ask you, what's it like for you watching it from about 20 rows up as opposed to being on the bench with the players?
Say, I'd rather be on the bench. I'm nervous up here. I'm sitting right next to my wife, and she's a white knuckler, and she's getting me nervous. At least on the bench, you're part of the game, and you're talking to the players, and there's great atmosphere down there. Up here, you're just hopeless, and I don't like it up here. I'd rather be a coach.
This is only my second year in Minnesota, but I've heard and read a lot of things about some memories that you've had. What was your favorite tournament memory, if one comes to mind?
Well, I was fortunate to play in 4 of them as a high school player at Evelyn High School, and then I coached in, like you said, 19 of them. And the main thing about every tournament is that these kids, ever since they've been 5 years old, they've been skating and developing their hockey skills and playing through the Pee-wees and the Bantams, and this is what they strive for, is playing in the state tournament and coming home a winner. And as a coach, same thing. You want to get your team into this tournament and win it.
Willard Eichela, is an honor to meet with you and talk with you, and we'll send it back upstairs to Wally and Lou. Gentlemen,
Thanks a lot, Jeff, and he is a living legend, and it's been great to work with Willard over the years. Right now, his former team, the Hornets, are on the power play to start off the second period. But the Greyhounds will nullify most of it by sending it back down ice, and there'll be 14 seconds left as Jeff Salmon is back for it. Up now for Dan Carlson, across ice to Neil Johnson, picking it off the boards. Johnson steps into the zone, glides into the corner after it. Cleared away from him, but not out. Salmon holding the line, but apparently not. And an offside stops the play just as the penalty time expires to Zabukover, putting Duluth back at full strength.
Duluth very aggressive killing that penalty, did an excellent job. They go right to the puck carrier and they don't give him any time to look around or move that puck very quickly, and they are very, very tenacious, even in the offensive zone and back in their own defensive zone. They constantly put pressure on you, and that's one of the reasons why they've been successful killing penalties. They don't allow anybody to look around and find an open man or jump into spots.
This Duluth East team is just relentless in their pressure. They are throwing the body around at every chance. They're skating hard all night long. And here they are coming right back again. Leading the rush is Chris Locker. Locker banking it off the boards for Patosha. Patosha trying to center it, and Spihar just missed. On the far side is Flaherty. Colin Flaherty checked. The puck is loose. Edina gets it and manages to take some of that pressure off from that absolutely phenomenal top line of Duluth.
You know what it seems like? It's almost like Locker and Patosha handle the puck for 4 or 5 seconds. It's like as soon as it gets to 5 seconds, fired anywhere near the net because Spihar is going to be
Exactly.
there. Every time they come across the blue line, they play with the puck a little themselves, both Locker and Patosha, and all of a sudden they just turn and fire a blind pass towards the net. And who's standing there? Spihar.
Yep. You know, some people refer to him as a cherry picker, but 53 goals, that this guy knows where the net is. Plain and simple.
He's a Hall of Fame cherry picker then.
That's for sure. Fired out in front and fanning on it as a shot was bouncing around. Soikinen couldn't finish. Another effort goes wide. On the far side, Dylan Mills plays it down low. It gets beyond Soikinen. Goes around the other side out in front. There's a shot right off by Soikinen. Another try. He scores!
Well, he had 2 tries at that one. It was just point blank. Nothing he could do. Almquist out in the slot area.
Yep.
He took a pass from behind the net from Matthias, and that puck went right to Almquist in the slot. He fires once. He gets a rebound. Here's a pass out from behind. Look at him all alone. Perfect position. Takes a shot. The rebound comes right to him. He says, okay, first I tried it straight ahead. Now I'm going to go to the goal stick side, and I'll beat you there. And he's on the board. Duluth goes up by 3, and they hit quickly again. Minute and 50 into the second period. They get a full-strength goal. Almquist from 20 feet out puts it past Byron.
Neil Johnson flattens Gunderson back in his own zone. Back after it now is Anderson for Edina, clearing it out to center. Shot right back in by Engel, who has 1 goal here tonight. Zabukover rolls it in deep. Sliding it off the wall is Wadley. Picking it up there is Brad Carlson. He lobs it now out in front. Engel with a shot. It hits a stick going wide. Behind the goal, it's scooped up once again and sent it out in front, and another blast is wide off of Meyer. Boy, it's a busy one here at the beginning of this period in the Edina zone.
And look what perfect position Duluth has got in the Edina zone. They always have someone high up in the slot wide open, and they look for him, feed him, and he's getting a good opportunity to score a goal.
Number 6 is Cullen Flaherty. Lost the puck. Jeff Salmon at the point for Edina. He scores! Edina cracks the surface here, and Salmon makes it a 3-1 hockey game.
Well, Salmon did what he had to do. He put the puck on the net through traffic. The goalie doesn't see that. You see 3 or 4 people stacked up right in front of Lettingham. Salmon with a good shot right on the glove side, right through traffic. He just lets fly at the net, and look at that puck go through traffic. See all those people in front, and there's the goaltender. As you see, he was trying to get some help there. Gunderson was moving Edina forward away, but at the last second, as he came across, Lettingham loses sight of the puck, and Edina gets on the board.
A much-needed goal for the Edina Hornets, who are down 3-0. And finally dent the armor of Cade Lettingham. Lone assist on the Edina goal will go to number 16, Yuriko. 5th of the year for Jeff Salmon.
That'll give Edina a little confidence and keep that lead down to 2 that Duluth East has. Otherwise, you're afraid they're going to start walking away, and they could right here.
Here's Bihar. He scores! Can that guy shoot or what?
Lockhart wins the draw. Spihar breaks wide on the right, and Lockhart just puts it right on the tape, putting Spihar in from the right side. And he is so accurate, he just hits the far side, and quickly Duluth East comes right back. You get one, we get one. We'll show you how it's done in a hurry. What a shooter Spihar is. Here's, look, 19. Gets it wide, right on the tape. And boy, he goes to the top of the circle, right to the dot, and then bing on the far side.
Boy, did you see how he took a good look, too, Spihar?
He knows where he was put.
He's got good speed, too, Louis, because he just took off from that face-off and just roared right around the Edina defense.
He's an excellent skater. If you just watch him, just the agility he's got on the skate.
They've happened fast and furious here in the period. At 1:50, Almquist scored for Duluth East, making it 3-0. Exactly a minute later, Jeff Salmon scored, and 16 seconds after that, Spihar scores his 2nd of the game, and here it is once more.
Look at he's looking all the way where he's going to put it, and he gets to the dot. Goldie used to do that a lot. Get to the dot and hit the far corner. You know, Spihar skates a lot like Huffer Christensen on the skates. The way he handles himself with that puck, it seems like you got him, and all of a sudden he's not there anymore.
And he has helped stake Duluth East to a 4-1 lead. The 5th goal of the tournament for number 33, Dave Spihar. Just a junior. God, how many goals is he going to score next year? 100?
Maybe.
Here they come. Soikinen drops it off. Engel with a shot, and that carries wide. Off the end boards, Edina trying to clear it out of the zone, but they can't. Meyer holding it in. Engel backhands it behind the net, and Salmon takes over for Edina. 4-1, Duluth East leading. They are on a mission. Stevens for Edina is chopped down in front of his own bench. Back across the line is Zabukover. He lost the puck, and in to scoop it up is Stafford for the Hornets. Ben Stafford, an A honor roll student for 4 years. And he's just a sophomore. Gives chase after it now. Stafford into the zone, but it's cleared away, and offside called at the Duluth blue line. 4-1, a big lead for Duluth East, and they are punishing anybody in their way this tournament. We'll be right back with more of the 1995 Boys Hockey Tournament.
If you've ever wondered if there's life after death, journey to the other side on the next Star Trek Voyager.
Monday at 7 on UPN 9.
One thing Mike Randolph has done an excellent job at here in the tournament is keeping those lines fresh. He makes changes very, very quickly. He's always got fresh guys out in the ice.
You know, I was talking to some members of the Duluth media here between periods. They have a 3-game plan coming into this tournament here. Obviously, the first one was the goal was accomplished, beating Jefferson last night. But we're seeing a lot of the 4th line members in here. They're saving themselves. They want to be in that final championship game tomorrow night, and that Duluth East bench is being fully utilized here in this game tonight.
Well, one thing too, that 4th line of theirs plays quite well. It's not like they're putting out people that can't play. They're very solid hockey players. He's got a lot of depth in his hockey club, and he makes use of it all.
Engel breaking in now to Meyer, but he's hauled down. There will be no penalty called here.
Well, that's Reed Anderson.
Reed Anderson, number 9.
He's such a good student that they don't want to give him a penalty either. Reed has never had anything but an A in high school. He's the first top in his class, and he's already been accepted at Harvard for the student.
Anderson can't handle that one. Here's Spihar. Look out. Drops it off at Patosha, and his shot rises over top the goal. Puck loose. Locker getting it. Chris Locker looking, finds Spihar in front, but it's deflected off of a stick and goes wide. Neil Johnson darting back for Edina, crisscrossing through the middle with Brad Carlson. Here's Johnson going deep, forced wide by Cool, and a very fine defensive effort for Mr. Cool. Spihar trying to break loose, Carries on after the puck, trying to get around McCambridge. He's offended, and there will be a penalty to number 6, John McCambridge. We'll be back for a Duluth East power play when we return to the capital of the Minnesota hockey tournament.
The Tournaments on 9 are brought to you in part by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, Hardee's, and DuPont Accent Herbicide.
Well, McCambridge is caught for holding Spiar. Spiar going around the outside, tries to beat McCambridge along the boards. McCambridge just grabs him and throws him down, and Duluth will be going on the power play. Here you see McCambridge fighting him off and putting his arm right around his neck and pulling him right down. Duluth leading 4-1 with 9:12 to go here in the second period. Now on the power play.
Okay, I think I found my tongue back here. Maybe it's the brain. Here we go. Zabukover with a shot. Goaltender Byron never saw it, but it rolls over top the net. Back on the point, Flaherty trying to get it back in low for Soikinen. Onto the other point now. They work it around. Zabukover behind the net for Engel. Engel has a man out in front, can't get it to Soikinen. Now Zabukover trying to relay to the point for Gunderson, does. Back to Zabukover, number 15. Now to the other side for Flaherty. His shot blocked out in front. A couple of Edina players after it. They try to bang it out to center ice, and finally it is tapped out there by number 9, Adam Hall.
Armbruster made a real good move, staying right with Engel, because Engel had a give and go, and he went right to the slot, and Armbruster read it perfectly and took him down. Otherwise, Engel would have had a perfect shot to go up 5-1.
Armbruster doing some dancing down there too, killing off some valuable time. Now just a minute left in the Greyhound power play. Johnson taking it for Edina. Locker now intercepts. Here's Chris Locker back on the offensive, going to the corner. Backhands it off the boards, can't pick it up himself. Edina then clears it off the stick of Armbruster. Flaherty. Put, lost the puck. Neil Johnson gets it, turns, shoots, he scores!
Great effort by Neil Johnson. He forced Flaherty around the net. Johnson, who's very quick and very tenacious on that play, forces Flaherty around the net, steals the puck, and comes out about 50 feet out, lets a slapper goal that handcuffs Lettingham. And Edina with a shorthanded goal cuts the margin of 4-2. Great effort by Neil Johnson, one of the leaders on his hockey club. Comes around the net, bothers him, knocks him down, just keeps going, and then when he gets in position, he stops and fires it right at the net. Short-handed, put it on the net. Good things happen.
I think that might have hit a Greyhound stick. Yes,
well,
watch this angle here.
It could have been tipped by Carlson in front, too.
Can you give us a replay back? We'll try to catch that replay again for you folks so you can see what happens on it. But they have given the goal to number 20, Dan Carlson.
Yeah, it looked like it could have hit his stick.
Yeah, it hit something.
Right in front of the defenseman. He just put his blade there, and Neil Johnson's shot just glanced off the blade past Lettingham.
Edina keeps battling back. They're not letting themselves get too far behind in this game. Spihar at the top of the circle. Trying to cut in. Mathias tried to hit him with a pass, but it's incomplete. And it'll go back into the Edina zone. Dan Carlson takes it there. Carlson backhanding it on net. Sticked into the corner by Lettingham. Brad Carlson tried to kick it loose as he lost his stick, but back comes Latour. Number 11, Matt Latour, a baseball player. Both of his parents are teachers up in Duluth. They bring it into the zone. It's popped out of there. Soikinen out in front, lost the puck. A nice effort by number 17. Chris Peterson keeps it alive. Fourth line being applied out here tonight by Duluth East. Here's a shot from the point right on. The rebound. A big man scrambled down in front. Peterson can't finish it off, and Edina comes back. Here is John Farrell, winding and firing. And Lettingham gets a piece of that, sending it wide. Behind the net, Grand trying to pry it loose. He does. Peter Grand for Edina. Working the boards, but lost out, and Chris Peterson moves it ahead for the Greyhounds.
Big save by Byron, because that shot from the point was deflected by Latour right in front of the net. Changed directions on it, but Byron made the save. Excellent save.
Here is Dylan Mills. He adds a firefighter in Duluth. Gets it over to Pat Gunderson, a member of Select 16 teams. Gunderson whacking away at it, but prying it out of there is Armbruster. Here he comes, third on the team in goals. Armbruster throws a big hit down in the corner, sending the defenseman Mills reeling on his back end. Now Gunderson to Mills. Up through the middle to Meyer. Cross the line, lets the shot go. Pad save there for Byron. Edina back out. Armbruster. Long shot. Lettingham stops that and will cover up. Good end-to-end action here at the St. Paul Civic Center. Score stayed 4-2 for at least a couple of moments. Lots of hockey left. We'll return to downtown St. Paul.
Does your minivan have enough power? Does it have exclusive features you could really use? Did your minivan cost you an arm and a leg? If it did, we're sorry, because Chevy Astro and Chevy Lumina minivans offer the features you really need and the price you really want. No apologies, no regrets. Get yourself a minivan with more from the family of minivans at your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealers.
This is the play that's given Edina some confidence and got him right back in his hockey game. Neil Johnson stealing the puck shorthanded, shooting at the net, and there's Carlson right there, getting his blade on it, deflecting that shot past Lettingham, and the score now 4-2.
Stepping up for trying a shot was Anderson, but it's cleared away from him for Edina. The opposite number 4 is Poole, who drives it into the Edina zone. First man back is T.J. Wasley, whose brother, a member of the Golden Gophers, defeated another Duluth team in college hockey tonight. Bulldogs losing to the Gophers 5-4 in OT.
That's right, and the Gophers were winning 4-2 with a minute and a half to go in the game, and they had 2 goals scored on them. Yep.
Well, how do you know that when we were here doing a hockey game?
Intuition. Well, Duluth East, knowing they're in a hockey game tonight, 4-2, it seems every time they go to pull away, Edina bounces right back. Edina with a lot of confidence because they played him earlier in the season, lost 7-6 in overtime, and skating much better here tonight than they did last night.
Dan Carlson, an all-Metro hockey player for up ice for Johnson. Johnson going wide, forced into the boards by Gunderson. Dan Carlson pops it loose, back on the point. There's a shot, deflects off of a stick going just wide, and that had Lettingham beat. Dan Carlson moves to the other side of the rink now to pop it out of there. Feeds it around to the point, trying to feed McCambridge. Grand shoots. Look out! Lettingham lost it, but rolls back on top of it. They will have another face-off as some pushing and shoving develops at the lip of the goal cage. Ooh, I like this hockey game. We're going to take a quick timeout. There's a break. We'll be right back with the 95 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
It's happening. Only America's hottest car company could have a sale like this. The National Chrysler Plymouth sale is here. Get up to $1,200 off the friendly Plymouth Neon. Over $1,600 off the luxury family sedan Chrysler Concorde. And over $1,800 off the luxurious Chrysler New Yorker. Now's the time to save like never before. But it won't last long. The National Chrysler Plymouth sale. Only at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Puck is dropped. And it comes in behind the Greyhound goal. Several players trying to pry it out of there. Peter Grand comes out of it first for Edina, but lost the puck. Locker clearing it ahead. Potasio shooting it in. Potosha makes that. At least I haven't said pistachio. That's center ice. Grand clears it all the way down into the Duluth East zone. Oxford is Flaherty. Around to Potosha. He's checked by Grand. Locker comes in to help out. Takes a pass. Nice give and go. And Duluth East trying to quickly come out of their zone. Edina has something to say for it and breaks it up in neutral. Spihar floating. Takes a pass. Finds an open man as he cuts right. Sends it left. Locker puts it back out in front. It comes to the point. Flaherty banks it off the boards. Here's Spihar, the ever dangerous guy, putting it out in front. on an incredible behind-the-back pass, and Latour couldn't quite finish.
You see how quick his hands are? He really has quick hands. That's the secret of his success. Boy, he gets rid of that puck in a hurry.
Unbelievable how he did that. Up the right side was Brandon Johnson. He was checked hard. There's going to be a penalty coming out of this melee.
Stevens is definitely going to go. He threw two real tough checks, and he's going to get an interference call on the first one. Stevens using his side, and that's something they want to do to slow Duluth down.
Will they or won't they? Power play coming up for Duluth East. They lead by 2.
This is Al Shaver. Super Sharp Skate Sharpener. Before your blade hits the ice, before your buddies hit the roof, show you came to play.
Hi, I'm Doug Wu. Whether you skate for fun or as a professional, every advantage counts. A few minutes in the Super Sharp machine and you'll have the blades of a champion. And best of all, they're right in the arena where you skate. Get the winning edge with Super Sharp.
You're going to see Mike Stevens here with a heavy check here, and watch him come right back with another one, knocking two of the Duluth players right down, and that's going to give Duluth an opportunity here, leading 4-2 with 2:58 to go.
I don't like to question the refs too much, Louis, but both of those players
I thought they were good checks.
Those were good checks.
I don't know how they got interference out of it, but...
Back on the point, Flaherty with a shot block. The puck is still loose out in front. Everybody playing bodies and not the puck. There's a shot for the point, and just wide by Locker. Spihar comes out of it. Long pass. Going after it is Carlson. Dan Carlson, a breakaway. He goes in. Oh, and he hit the side of the goal and crashes heavily into the corner boards, flying over the goaltender Lettingham.
Well, the leading goal scorer for Edina is the guy you want to have the breakaway, and I think he waited a little too long, and the puck might have got away from him just a little bit too much. He had to race away to get that lead pass, and it seemed like he had plenty of time, and he didn't realize it. As he goes to the far side, he's got to control that rolling puck, and now he's going to take it to his backhand. See that puck's rolling just a little bit too much. He couldn't quite get his blade on it to get it up and over and cut the margin. That would have been two shorthanded goals in a row for Edina.
Yes, that's right. Dave Spihar sends it in. Flaherty pinching up to keep it into the zone. Second effort goes out. Stafford's pass is blocked. And this is Flaherty again.
Oh, good pass.
Through the middle, number 9, Matt Mathias. Back under the point for Locker. Spihar will chase it down behind the net. Here's Dave Spihar. Back to the point for Locker. Half wall now for Spihar. Coming off of there. Back to the side, out in front. Hits a skate, goes to the point. Locker passing across to the far side, intended for Spihar. Nobody there, except an Edina defenseman who clears the zone. Minute and a half to go in the period. Half a minute in the Greyhound power play. And here's Chris Locker. Long bomb is floating at center was Engel, but he had it blocked en route. Edina lost it. Back across the line, Meyer leaves a trailer. Spihar gets it, but a hand pass is called against Duluth East.
Duluth East will look for that long pass even when they're on the power play. Locker is always looking for Spihar, and that time he even had Engel down there deep. Had he been able to connect on that, it would have been a 3-on-1 play. But Edina doing an excellent job killing this penalty, making certain that all the plays on the perimeter, nothing in the shooting area or the slot area at all, keeping that puck to the outside and actually having a chance on a breakaway on one and almost connecting on another one.
Everybody being used as Meyer sends a pass across ice, going for Dirks. Intercepted by Dan Carlson, roaring right back, short-handed. Penalty now has expired to Edina's Stevens, so the Hornets have resumed full-strength play here, killing off 3 penalties tonight and scoring on one of them. There's a scramble out in front, but Lettingham is down and getting a little bit crowded in the goal crease.
Yuriko came off the bench after a line change there, and he picked up that loose puck and drove right for the net, and that's what you want to do. At the same time, Carlson, who had laid a heavy check in the corner on Mills, And that's Danny Carlson, came right out of the corner, and had there been a rebound, he'd have been in a good position for it. You see the backhand shot right there. Neil Johnson's also standing right in front. Edina is starting to drive to the net now, looking for some rebounds. Lettingham had a little problem on that last goal. It was deflected, and right after that, remember, Edina took 2 shots that were deflected, seemed to have him beat, but both shots missed the net. So Edina's trying to create a little problem for him in front of that net.
And they have to.
Yeah.
They're not getting a lot of opportunities to skate it into the zone and set things up. And the bomb from the point is shot wide by McCambridge, goes around to the far side. This is Cullen Flaherty with it. They call him Flair. Goes to the other side, trying to headman a pass now onto the stick of number 12, Dave Almquist, who has 1 goal tonight. Put out in front, back of the point, Salmon for Edina has a shot blocked by a sprawling Mathias. Now here's a sprint up ice for Soikkonen. Has a man with him. Soikkonen trying to get it across to Almquist, but Edina had something to say.
Well, it's a good play by Salmon. He was beat because Soikkonen was just streaking away, and Salmon almost got a hooking penalty. He just played it long enough where he didn't. He just reached up, pulled him just a little bit, tugged at him once, just broke his stride. Otherwise, Soikkonen was gone.
It was good play, good defensive play. Just enough of a tug to avoid a penalty, but stop the momentum.
That's right, and let go before you get that penalty. Soikkonen, great speed. That's one thing.
Yes,
you look at this Duluth team, the overall super speed, and especially down the middle. Locker, Soikkonen, and Meyer really skate well. And if you look, even the quickness, you talk about speed, but even the first few feet, Cicerelli used to have that. He wasn't fast overall, but the first 10 feet, he was very quick. That's what Spier's got besides having good speed. Watch his first 5 or 6 strides. He just explodes. Danny Carlson from Edina does the same thing.
Clock is ticked down with some rough stuff going on between these two teams. No love lost when Edina and Duluth East have gotten together this year. First game was a 1-goaler when they met earlier in the season in overtime. And we've got a 2-goal difference right now with 1 period of hockey left to go. And the Duluth East Greyhounds holding the lead at this point in the hockey game.
And Edina playing better as the game's going along. Duluth East obviously playing better than Edina thus far, but Edina playing pretty well. They're playing a pretty solid game. They're playing good in their own zone. They're using their body. They're much more physical tonight. That's something you want to do against Duluth. Duluth got that explosiveness, and the only way to slow them down is take them out. And Duluth defensemen do that very well, so Edina's doing the same thing up front. Their forwards are starting to throw checks. You saw that heavy check by Dan Carlson, who's not that big. They're starting to really be aggressive forechecking, and that's getting Duluth a little off balance, not allowing them as much time to complete passes as they were getting earlier.
There's a story on our first bank scoreboard. The Hounds ahead of the Hornets by 2. Let's go down and meet Jeff Grayson.
All right, thanks, Wally and Lou. I'm with Edina coach Bart Larson. Coach, you're hanging tough with these guys. Your thoughts on the way the game's gone so far?
Well, we're really struggling. The first period is just like, you know, we weren't doing the things that we knew we had to do. We talked most of the afternoon about things we had to do, and we're not doing it. I think right now we got a couple goals, so the second period's tied. Now we need to, you know, really keep the pressure on. It's been tough for us because, you know, we're not really skilled players. We work hard, but you need to have a little more skill in a game like this. We're working hard, and our enthusiasm hopefully will allow us to get some breaks and get a couple more goals. So I think we're on our start. Hopefully we can have a lot better third period now.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you very much.
That's Edina coach Bart Larson joining us. His Hornets are down 4-2 in this Class AA semifinal, and we'll return with more programming, including a Minnesota 9 news update when we return for the tournaments on 9.
Today's the day to see your Toyota dealer and experience the luxury of Avalon. And right now, there's a wide selection starting at only $22,758. Experience the all-new Avalon.
Hey, Chichi, got room for a foursome?
Sure, and then some.
Take advantage of Toyota Previa's special lease program. Imagine a Previa with lots of options for only $299 a month. It's Toyota's Today's the Day spring sales event, so hurry.
Hey, there's Chichi.
The Thompsons got their home equity installment loan from First Bank, not just because they could finance their car and deduct the interest, or get convenient ways to manage their money, or pay for the new addition to their home. They chose First Bank because the bank loaned them 100% of the equity in their home, which let them consolidate their finances and their family all at once.
For special rates and no closing costs, apply by phone today.
You got to see it to believe it. Who said that you can't have it all? You have a ball. There's a place for fun in your life. Mall of America. There's a place for fun in your life. Mall of America.
Kick back for another UPN Action Tuesday and watch Richard Grieco kick butt.
Oh, time for a quick break.
Now watch him kick more butt. Between punches, he's teaming up with a beautiful lawyer to put a bad cop behind bars. But this bad cop is one tough dude.
You're gonna kill him, aren't you?
Hey, life's a beach, but Richard can handle it, right? Find out on the next Marker.
Tuesday at 7 on UPN 9.
Good evening, I'm Robin Robinson with this Minnesota 9 News Update. Littell Cheney won't talk about the moment 5 men jumped into a Minneapolis bus and slashed him with a bottle. He says it's too painful, but he will talk about all the good that's come from the attack, support for his family, concern by strangers, and tough action by police. The 20-year-old deaf man was brutally injured when suspects thought his sign language were gang signs. All 5 men suspected of attacking Cheney are behind bars. He told police he just snapped. Now his girlfriend's 15-year-old daughter is dead. Police say Alfred Robinson attacked the girl for using the phone. He told her it was too late to call friends. Robinson has a previous assault record, including an incident 7 years ago when he beat his 88-year-old mother. Join us for Minnesota 9 News after the Edina Duluth East game.
In a world that's moving so fast, who has time to wait? You're looking for a little convenience. Minnesota 9 News has the right information at a time that is convenient. Minnesota 9 News, so you can get 2 things you need. 1, to stay informed, and 2, get some sleep. Minnesota 9 News, the newscast for the information age, with special features that set it apart. Features like Spreadsheet, a rundown of the day's top business stories.
Bit of a slowdown on Wall Street today.
On the Loose, reports from a different point of view.
There you have one of the most popular attractions at the St. Paul Winter Carnival. It's been that way.
You want convenience? Plug into a newscast for the information age. Minnesota 9 News. Now, the Northland Ford Reports, brought to you by your Northland Ford dealers.
Welcome back to the St. Paul Civic Center. The Northland Ford Dealers Report is our intermission fare for you, as it is every period break during the 1995 Boys Hockey Tournament. I'm Jim Gilliland, happy to be back joining you. Edina trailing Duluth East 4-2 in this one with 1 period to go. Barring overtime, we did have overtime in our first AA semifinal tonight. Moorhead taking out Rochester Mayo early in the second overtime. 5-4, the winning goal scored by Matt Cullen. Gophers won in hockey tonight, 5-4 over UMD. Timberwolves defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 109-103. We gave you some girls basketball winners earlier. These teams are in the state tournament. Rochester Mayo, Woodbury, Tartan, Duluth East, St. Cloud Apollo in AA, and also by the narrowest of margins, Apple Valley 60-58 in 3 overtimes over Edina. Apple Valley was #1 ranked, still will be, but unbeaten. So a bit of a surprise that Edina pushed them right to the limit in that one. In Class A, we have Rochester Lourdes coming into the state tournament. St. James has advanced, New London Spicer, and Fertile Beltrami. So 10 regional sectional champions crowned tonight. The rest tomorrow night, and we'll bring you those during championship evening. And now we're going to take another break. We'll come back with second period highlights from the 1995 Minnesota State High School Boys Hockey Tournament.
Dairy Queen is introducing 3 nutty new Blizzard flavor treats and Breeze frozen yogurt treats. There's the breathtaking chocolate almond.
I love this.
Awesome pecan crunch.
I want one.
And tantalizing walnut fudge. 3 new nicely nutty Blizzard and Breeze flavors. Only at Dairy Queen.
Hot eats, cool treats, we treat you right.
My portraits have been shown around the world.
inside of passports. Unfortunately, it was the only work I could get, no matter what I tried. Then I put an ad in the U.S. West Direct Yellow Pages. My consultant showed me how to get customers right when they're ready to buy. That ad paid for itself in no time. I was getting more jobs, better jobs. I really appreciate what the Yellow Pages has done for my business.
You ready?
Some days more than others.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Introducing Pay Pump from Amoco. You pay, you pump, you go. Life is fast. Make sure your gas station is up to speed.
Clarity to control, clarity to control. Clarity to control, broadleaf bighorn, section 4.
Control to clarity. Engage.
In the war against broadleaf weeds, Clarity has superior crop safety and zero resistance.
Got it without atrazine.
Clarity to control, red alert, perennial sighted, section 2.
No problem. I register no more broadleaves.
Maintain residual control till crop is grown.
Clarity, advanced technology, a higher standard of broadleaf control.
We have returned to the Civic Center. The Northland Ford Dealer Report rolls on between periods 2 and 3. We had 2 goals in the first period, 4 more in the second period. Duluth East leads by a count of 4-2. To show you some of the highlights, back upstairs to Wally and Luke. Guys?
Thanks, Jim. We do have a lot of highlights from this period, Louis, because the scoring really opened up. You can expect that from Duluth East, and they did not let us down.
That's right. They can score, and they can score quickly, and that's what they did in this period. Again, if you look at the first goal, it was a good play from Matthias behind the net, passing out to Almquist. He gets 2 shots. The first one stopped by the goalie. He gets the rebound right on, and he puts that one away, and that put Duluth ahead. But coming right back, you know, the Jeff Solomon from Edina gets a puck from the point, and he's using a screen in front of the net. He just lets fly at the net, and that puck goes right in and beats the Duluth goaltender. And that was a big goal for Edina. Watch this, right through traffic, and finally got Edina on the board. Goalie can't see that at all. He screened all the way, hits part, goes right in the net. And that was a big goal for Edina because it looked like Duluth was ready to run away. But Duluth then comes right back and scores the way they can score. They score quickly and they score in bunches. Spihar gets a perfect pass from Locker on the far side, hits the low corner. He's so deadly every time he gets the puck. And Duluth goes back out in front 4-1. Then while they were on the power play, Edina had some real good effort from Neil Johnson. He takes the puck away from the defenseman. He goes out to the top of the slot, shoots, and Danny Carlson in front gets his blade on it, just deflects that by Lettingham, and that made it 4-2, and that's where we are right now, with Edina playing stronger as this game's gone along. Still not close to the abilities Duluth has, but at least back in the game.
Duluth East has outplayed Edina, but Edina is sticking with it. Back downstairs to Jim Gilliland.
Thanks, fellas. That is our Northland Ford Dealers Report for this intermission. Duluth East just 1 period away from moving into the final against Moorhead. We'll come back and see if they can do it in just a moment from our live coverage of the 1995 Minnesota State High School Boys Hockey Tournament in St. Paul.
Keith and Stephanie Brennan each opened a portfolio IRA, not just because it combines various accounts into one plan with one easy-to-read statement. They open portfolio IRAs because they can include a wide range of options from both First Bank and FBS Investment Services, which gives them the flexibility to go in whatever direction they ultimately decide to go.
Portfolio IRA. Introductory offer ends May 1st.
Today's the day you've been waiting for. The day to get a Toyota Camry. With special financing and a low starting price. And your Toyota dealer also has a great Camry lease program. A low monthly lease payment gets you the car that's the gold standard. Celebrate spring. See your Toyota dealer now during Toyota's Today's the Day spring sales event.
Add a rich, warm look to floors with Bruce Hardwood Flooring from Menards. Oak Parquet features solid construction and a tongue-and-groove design, so it's easy to install. Now $1.86 a square foot. Then enhance your walls with one of over 190 beautiful patterns
of Berkeley and Borden wallpaper. Double rolls start at $3.88 after $2 mail-in rebates. Remodeling ideas abound at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
If you have children involved in sports, there's only one eyeglass lens they should be wearing, the polycarbonate lens. Look what happens to a standard plastic lens when struck by a projectile. Compare this to a polycarbonate lens. Notice the projectile simply bounced off the polycarbonate lens without breaking it. Be safe and choose polycarbonate lenses for your all-star player. Vision World, Minnesota's locally owned optical company.
KMSP TV, UPN 9.
We're located high in the rafters here, the St. Paul Civic Center, as you can tell from our GMC Viking Land cam. To our left are many of the members from the electronic radio media. Over 13 radio stations covering the state tournament this year. And to our right-hand side, we have many different publications representing the newspaper trade up here covering as well. So lots going on media-wise from this view that we have of the St. Paul Civic Center. Our U.S. West Direct Yellow Pages. We'll give you the totals on the shots on goal. Edina coming up with a few more efforts on the netminder Cade Lettingham in goal for Duluth East, but also increasing their total on Dan Byron was the Duluth East Greyhounds.
Well, Edina has been playing better as the game's gone along. In the second period, as you can see, they cut the margin in shots and goal, and they actually had some good opportunities. But that's all because of their forechecking. They do have a real good first line. They got a lot of skill on that line with Danny Carlson and Neil Johnson and Brad Carlson. When you look at the way they can move and pass that puck, so they can be dangerous and beat so quick, they can compete with Duluth East speed. And then when they're getting some help from the defensemen and everybody starts using their body, Edina start getting into the flow a little bit. The key to the game is they haven't let Duluth get too far away too fast. Every time it looks like Duluth's ready to pull away, Edina comes back with a goal one way or the other, and that's been real good for them.
Duluth East has got that capability of scoring fast, either right at the start of the period or right after a goal is scored against them. How important is it now for Edina to get that quick jump?
Well, it's going to be tough for them. If Duluth East gets another goal, the game's over. It's going to be tough for them to come back from 2 right now. But if Duluth East gets up 3, then it is going to be real tough, because Edina then would have to open up. And the moment you open up against this East Hockey Club, you're in real trouble. They can jump into holes so quickly. They move that puck around and they transition as well as anybody in this tournament. They move that puck from defense to offense. They've been moving it better than anybody in this tournament. And so you can't give them those kind of opportunities. And look at the way they still hit. This Cool has had a great tournament for Duluth East on defense.
And here is the cool one, Ryan Cool. Helps as a tutor. His dad manages an arena up in Duluth. He's number 4 for the Greyhounds. And Edina's called for an offside at the Duluth East blue line. 15,887 in here tonight at the Civic Center for this night session of the semifinals. Two-day total of over 54,000 on hand here at the Civic Center.
If you notice, Coach Randolph loves to get his so-called third line against the top line of the opposition. He did it last night with Jefferson. He's doing it with Edina here. He wants to have Lockar and Spiar out there against people that won't hurt them if they're not as good defensively. You know, that allows Spiar time to get up ice and maybe be able to play a bit.
There's a shot by Gunderson, and that deflects over top the Edina goal. Meyer after it behind the net. Brings it around to the other side. First man there is McCambridge for Edina, and he clears his zone. Hopping onto the ice is Spiar, but his pass came out of the zone and was brought in by Dan Carlson offside.
Carlson was coming so quickly he couldn't stop. He knew he was going to be offside. He tried to stop as soon as he got control of that puck, but his momentum carried the extra foot over the blue line and caused the offside.
Duluth East, as offensive-minded as they are, had 7 shutouts on the season, and they've allowed only 14 goals against in their last 10 games. 4 of those were shutouts, including the 5-0 zapping of Jefferson last night. They lead here 4-2. Spiar cranks it off the wall. Here's a 2-on-1. Patosha getting it ahead now for Lockar. He shoots. Oh, a pass save. The rebound by Patosha. He scores.
One thing about Patosha, he didn't quit going to the net. And when he got there, he stopped. That was so important because the rebound was lying right there. Lockhart saw that Patosha was covered as he drove for the net, so he just elected to shoot. Shoot he did. Byron made the save. He was down, couldn't get the rebound. Patosha stops and gets it and puts it by him. Watch this. See, as Patosha's just getting covered, but look at him stop right there, comes right back to get the rebound. Too often you see forwards when they're driving to the net to have their momentum carry them and they just turn away left.
Yep.
Patosha did the right thing, stopped
Very
on a dime
smart.
and put it in. I'm afraid you can turn out the lights because it's going to be awful tough to come back from 3 goals on this Duluth Hockey Club.
Well, Edina has done it twice, at least to pull within 2. But whether or not they can close that gap further, who knows? There's a shot, blocked. There's a little bit of mugging going on in front now. And rolling away from the play is Slakeinen.
And that's Adam Hall on the ice, or Matthias on the ice there, who had a great setup opportunity just 15 feet in front of the net, and his stick broke on him, or that would have been another quick goal had he been able to corral that and put it in the corner.
Just the 9th goal of the year for number 20, Eric Patosha. But it's a big one. At the point, Mills was shot wide. Spihar on the far side bounces it off into the corner. Anderson retrieves for Edina and leaves it now for Grand. He's pinned up along the wall by Patosha. Several players battling for it. Hornets come out of the pack and clear to center. Mills to his partner Kuhl. Shot right back in by Anderson of Edina. Spihar takes a pass off the boards. Being bothered there by number 16, Yuriko. They go around to the other side for Kuhl. Up through the middle to Patosha. He relays it deep into the zone and heads off. And now it bounced out in front crazily, and Spihar just missed a chance.
Spihar was the only one watching that puck where it went. The goalie thought it went left, and so did the defenseman, and he saw it take a crazy carom and just stopped real quickly, went to it, but he couldn't quite get it into the short side.
Edina Hornets banking it off the boards, going for the breakaway effort. Johnson sends it across ice. Grant picks it off the wall, trying to get around Gunderson. Sends it for Johnson, and he one-times it just wide.
Great play there by Grand, giving it over to Johnson. Johnson just couldn't get that puck down low. Probably stood up on him just as he was shooting and went right over the net.
What I like about Duluth, Louis, and we commented off camera about this, but they go D to D very well to open the ice up.
They really do.
Here comes Johnson once again. Lays a trailer for Dan Carlson. His wrist shot wide. Johnson slaps it off the boards. It hits traffic in front, bounces the wrong way. And scooping it up now is Pat Gunderson. His bank pass goes ahead, and Edina takes it at their blue line. Dan Carlson sweeps it over to Johnson. Sidesteps a check, cuts into the slot, still after it, leaves a trailer. Here's McCambridge shooting. That goes into the corner. There's a penalty coming up, and it'll go against Edina.
And Edina was putting on pressure since that goal by Duluth East. Edina knows that they had to come back and were just putting on pressure, but now they're going to get a high sticking call.
Neil Johnson going off. Duluth will go to a power play. We'll be back for their 4th opportunity of the game in just a moment.
Who will get the death sentence when a cop goes bad?
You're going to kill him, aren't you?
Richard Grieco stars in the next Marker.
Tuesday at 7 on UPN 9.
It's 37 degrees in Edina at the midnight hour, 28 degrees in Duluth, more in 60 minutes.
Look at the time. This game is taking 2 days. We're into Saturday. Can they win 2 in 1 day? That's what it's going to turn out to be, eh? Spihar in the corner. Lost the puck. Hornets come out shorthanded. Armbruster across to Stevens. Broken up very nicely. Back on the attack. Number 19 is Walker going deep. Centering it for Spihar. He scores! It's in the net. There it is. Spihar gets his 2nd hat trick of the tournament.
Well, I don't think the goalie knew where the puck was. He made the save initially, a good passing play across. Edina thought that the puck was stopped, but the puck was lying free right there. Here, coming across the line, blocker, and look at Spiar, drive for the net like goal scorers do. He gets his stick on it, and they think it's on the line right there, and coming along is Soikinen, and I don't know if the puck was in before Soikinen pushed it in or not, because no one knows where the puck is, and it's already in the net. Soikinen pushing it in, but Spiar, did you notice the way the moment Lockhart goes to the outside, he drives for the net. Lockhart with some great passing right on the tape, and Spiar just directs it right into the net.
There's a real magic between those two players, Louis. They just know where each other are. They've obviously played together a lot. They're both in the same grade, juniors up there, gone through the amateur ranks all the way, but it's remarkable how well they know where each other is.
Well, they're like the Broughton brothers that played together, Neil and Aaron, and you'd love to see these two kids, wherever they're going to go to college, I hope they go to the same place, just to watch the two of them continue to play, because they've got some great skills individually, but it's complemented by the fact that they played together and know each other so well.
We talk about the goal-scoring abilities of Spihar. He now has 55 on the tournament, or 55 on the year, 6 in the tournament, but Locker has 4 assists tonight. And in last night's game, not sure what he did last night. I know he had at least 1 or 2 assists last night. What a tourney he's having as well. They're great together. Puck is tied up. Will face it off to the left of the goalkeeper, Cade Letting, who has seen his team build up a 6-2 lead. This team can score goals. They've outscored opponents 191 to 55 coming into this game tonight. They've had an 11-goal game, 2 13-goal games this year, and they beat Duluth Marshall once this year, 21-0.
Well, you look at some of their games, they'd lose a game 2-0 and come back and win about 11-0 against the same team.
Just like they go into a lapse of scoring and find the range, and away they go. The best part for Coach Mike Randolph is his top 2 lines will be back intact next year.
That's some pretty good forwards to have returning.
Yuriko for Edina. Offside. 9:44 to go. Duluth East with a comfortable 4-goal lead right now.
And Duluth East continuing to make certain they're not giving up that blue line very easily. Edina's coming along, and everybody's lined up across there. That time they had 4 guys across the blue line. They don't want to let you in the zone. If you want to throw it in, fine, that's the way you're going to get it in. But if you try and carry that puck in the zone, they're going to meet you at the blue line and hit you.
Dan Carlson sprinting into the zone on his off wing. Plays it for Salmon on the point. Squeezed off by Meyer nicely, who read the play. And Duluth East will clear it all the way down ice. Oh, almost a chance. Now it's going to unload for one for Locker. Excuse me, that's number 16, Engel. Engel getting the puck back again. His team is short-handed, don't forget. And back to center ice. Clock ticking down. 20 seconds left now in the penalty time to Duluth East's Ted Soikinen. Wrong shot by Edina, rises over the goal. Johnson took that shot. Johnson blocks it at the blue line. Carlson carrying on, centers it. It's deflected just wide of the goal by Stevens. And a second try by Duluth finally clears the puck.
Duluth East full strength.
Now Duluth East back at full strength.
Oh, right in front of the referee is going to be,
Salmon.
Well, Salmon's got 1 penalty. He might get 2 now. 3 or 4 guys going after Spihar. And you know there's going to be a penalty here. Or 2.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to sort some of these calls out. We're going to take a pause here at the St. Paul Civic Center.
Spihar had the first one, and it looks like Salmon might get one after. Maybe, no, they're not giving one to Spihar.
All right. We'll find out what the story is when we return to the St. Paul Civic Center for more of this semifinal game.
The Tournaments on 9 are brought to you in part by Dairy Queen, Great Clips, and your GMC truck dealers.
Well, we only got one penalty in that exchange, and giving Salmon just one penalty, 2 minutes, and so Duluth East back in the power play, leading 6-2 with 8:31 to go. And Jeff Salmon sitting in the penalty box. And Lockhart moves back to the point in the power play, even leading 6-2, so Duluth East not letting up at all.
And they can't. You got to keep going. Here's Spihar with it. Over to Locker, number 19. Chris Locker looking. Pass out in front, block. He gets it right back again on a gift. Now Locker. Over to Almquist. Back to Locker. Winds and fires. That goes wide. On the far side is finally cleared down ice by Tim Dirks of Edina. Locker. Right in. They can't clear. And they bring it out themselves, the Greyhounds do. And here is Spihar backing up into his own zone. No rush now. They're content with a 4-goal lead. Shoveled in by Dylan Mills of Duluth East. Locker at the point, takes a feed from Almquist, moves along the line, flips it netward, just wide. Almquist digging it out of the corner. Here is Almquist, back to Locker. To the half wall, top of the circle, there's a shot going wide. Far side is Mills, back to Spihar, circling out of the corner. He left a trailer there, but it's intercepted by Edina and cleared out by number 9, Adam Hall. Both teams changing on the go. Here's Meyer straight up through the middle. Cruising through the zone, he cuts right. Breaks along the board. Drops it to the point. It's slapped back down to Meyer. To the corner now for Spihar. Centers it out in front. But Johnson is there for the Hornets. Neil Johnson across center. Reaches the blue line. Has an open man. Passes it off. Carlson shoots. And a nice save there off the leg pad of Lettingham.
Johnson and Carlson are dangerous when they're killing penalties because of their great speed and puck handling ability. They don't have problems getting some opportunities. They always seem to get one on the penalty kill.
Edina's penalty is over. They're at full strength. Puck still in their zone. Lifting it is number 10, Fitzgerald, trying to clear it out of the zone. Bounces off of him again. Comes over to his partner. Cleared by McCambridge up ice. Coming up now is Ben Stafford, number 11. He lost the puck, and roaring right back now is Bukover. His long shot carries way up into the Edina crowd behind the Edina goal. Exactly 6 minutes to go. We have a break in the action from High School Hockey 95 at the St. Paul Civic Center.
As the heart of a sports car and the body of a minivan, the 1995 Chevy Astro with 190 horsepower Vortec V6, it's the minivan with the not-so-mini engine. You could say it's like a freight train with a sleeper car. The 1995 Chevy Astro. With available all-wheel drive power, it can tow 2,000 pounds more than any front-wheel drive minivan. It also has a very comfortable interior. Only at your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealer.
We're back live at the State High School Hockey Tournament. And here come the boys of Edina up ice. Poking at it was number 22, Matt Kennedy for the Hornets. Everybody getting some pine time or some ice time now.
Well, it's a good idea. Everybody that's on that bench getting the opportunity to play in the state championship, and everybody knows 6-2 lead with Duluth East playing the kind of game they're playing. It's pretty obvious who's going to win the game, so you might as well give a lot of these kids an experience that they have worked for all their hockey life.
Coming into the zone is Brandon Johnson for Duluth East. Over on the far side, number 17, Chris Peterson throws a check, but Edina coming out of the zone. Going down the right side, a long shot going through the top edge of the crease wide. Battling for it is Stevens, number 19 of Edina. Gets the puck loose. Now Stafford with a quick shot, hits the skate and glances wide off of Gunderson. Back on the point, Kennedy's shot is blocked. East after him, Johnson. Can't get it past the Edina defenseman Wasley. Number 22 is Don Schmidt for Duluth East. Backhanded by Peterson, but not out. Schmidt going after it, checking into the Edina player. Schmidt goes down, puck on the point. Walsley fires. It's off the stick of Lettingham wide. Here's Almquist for it. Clearing to the blue line, but not out. McCambridge holding it. Behind the goal, Gunderson. Over to Almquist. Stripped from him by Hall. Centers it out in front, but speeding into the zone for it now is Soikinen. Here he is. Good moves on his skates. Great balance. Up from Mathias, who shovels it deep. Soikinen swoops in for the puck. He's checked and knocked down. On a blast by Brian Fricke of Edina. Back for it now, Almquist. Passing up to Mathias. Shoots it in. 4 minutes to go. Jeff Salmon. Checked and knocked down. Meyer popping it out of there. Down low for Engel, number 16. Meyer helps out. Meyer trying to clear it around. There's 3 players sprawled on the ice. Meyer gets the puck for the Hounds. He's knocked down now. I think there's a little bit of holding out here right now. Salmon just lifts it high in the air. That's right, Russ. Let's just get this one over with. Ragged hockey at 6-2 Duluth East. We'll be back at the Civic Center for the rest of this semifinal encounter.
Tim Burke's parents are FPS Investment Services customers, not just because they were able to set up Tim's college investment fund right inside their local First Bank. Tim's parents are loyal customers because their investment representative took the time to learn more about each member of the family and tactfully suggested increasing their investment in young Tim's college mutual fund.
Well, with 3:38 to go, Duluth continuing to put on pressure, looking for a 7th goal, even though they're leading by 4. And the physicalness of this game has really picked up on top of that. It seems like there's some frustration out there, Wally, and people aren't backing down at all. They see a lot of checking on both sides.
Johnson hammering away for Edina, getting it up now to Dan Carlson. He's met at the blue line by Don Schmidt. Taking control now is Mills. Reaching center, he lobs it in. Heads off. Duluth East going with very quick line changes. You pointed that out earlier, Louis, but they continue to do so all game long, keeping some reserves. Now here's some reserve coming up by Soikinen. Falls, cutting into the zone. Carrying on is Almquist. Almquist circling in the corner, looking for an open man, fires it on goal, and that's gloved and held by Byron.
Almquist tried to get that pass over. Soikinen fell down, and everybody left him alone. He got back up. He was standing all alone in front of that net, and Almquist couldn't get him that pass. He was trying to get it over to him.
Well, Edina's a team that's going to be back to contend in the Classic Lake again next year, folks. They have only 5 seniors on the team, 12 juniors and 3 sophomores. A very good future. Their third line is better than most third lines, and they'll be back intact next year. They're also the second power play unit, so a lot of good things on the horizon for Edina next year. They won the Classic Lake this year as well.
Seen a lot of mix-up on the lines now. You've got Patosha playing out here now with Sukin in, and you've got Almquist up there, and we haven't seen Latour for a while.
No, we haven't. There is a penalty coming up. We've got one more break to take care of, and we'll be back for the final 2:20 of this game between Edina and Duluth East.
It's Toyota's Today's the Day sales event. Today, your Toyota dealer is offering the all-new T100 Extra Cab with a $239 a month lease. Big power with big room and loaded with options including air conditioning, deluxe AM/FM stereo cassette, and more. This new T100 Extra Cab's hard to beat. Today's the day to save $1,000 on 4Runner option packages, and your Toyota dealer is inviting you to a special preview of Toyota Tacoma, an all-new line of trucks. So hurry in. Today's the day.
Wally, at 5-on-5, it seems to me like Randolph has taken off Spiar and Locker and not going to put them back out on the ice. Probably giving them a rest. On top of that, you want to make certain they don't get hurt, you know, in a situation like that. So
save them.
No need to have mud in the ice now.
They'll have good legs tomorrow to meet Moorhead. Power play for Duluth East, their 4th of the game. They have 1 power play goal and 3 prior tries tonight. And they'll just play it back into the neutral zone to set things up there and wait for everybody to get out of the zone. Excuse me, Edina's on the power play. They are 0 for 3 tonight. Duluth East killing it off handily as Cool drives it down ice. It'll force the Hornets back behind their goalkeeper, Byron. Dan Byron, one of the top goalies, unbeaten since December 28th. That will not stand. Can get him some breaks, but on top of his game has had a great finish. Allowed only 3 goals against in the last 4 games till he met the Hounds. But the Hounds have poured a lot of goals past many people. Cycling out of the corner is Neil Johnson. His shot wide. Back behind the nets. The centering pass is blocked, but we have a quick whistle as again some tempers began to flare a little bit here.
Well, Mills and Johnson at first were at it along the boards. Then he got up and went away from there. And then as they went away, then Johnson and Mills seemed to go back at it again. I think they're both going to be going into the box. Started first along the boards a lot before that, and then they went back at each other right here, and that's when they're both going off.
Let's just get it over with, boys. Game's over. It'll be a classic matchup tomorrow. Duluth East versus Moorhead. Earlier tonight, Moorhead defeating Rochester Mayo 5-4.
Yes. They got too many people on the ice here. You got 4-on-4. You've got Duluth East has got 2 guys in the box, but I think they want to play with 4 people. They already got a 6-2 lead.
That's enough.
There goes one.
In the Class A competition today, Totino Grace defeated Red Wing 2-1. And International Falls defeated War Road 3-2. So it'll be Totino Grace and International Falls tomorrow at 2:15 here on Channel 9. And also KDLH up in Duluth for the Class A championship. Frank Mazzacco and Tom Reed will call that action. Lou Nanny and I will be with you at 8:15 for the championship of Class AA, which will feature Moorhead and Duluth East. 4-on-3, skating advantage. It's a shooting gallery now. There's a blast from the point that's blocked on the try by Fitzgerald. He'll hustle back inside his own blue line for the Hornets. New penalty killers out there now for Greyhounds. Puck is backhanded in by Tim Dirks of Edina. Cleared by the Greyhounds. 25 seconds left to go. Center ice. Number 8 is Matt Meyer. Lost the puck. Carrying on across the line for Edina is Bruce Fricky. He's knocked down in front of the goal. Meyer with the puck for the Hounds. Banks it off the wall. That will do it. Everybody's going to let things complete with no further play. The celebration begins in Duluth. As the Port City team comes down, they picked up a victory yesterday over the defending state champions, Jefferson, by a 5-0 count. And tonight, they score 6 goals to Edina's 2 to advance to the state championship game tomorrow night against Moorhead.
Well, Duluth stays on top of their game. Got off to a quick start. That's what they did last night. And once they get off to that quick start, they play with more confidence, and they just kept pulling ahead. Every time it just seemed like Edina'd come on, they get within 2 goals, and they just jump out and get another goal again. Duluth East with a great deal of firepower, excellent speed, terrific team play, and a lot of balance. Just too much for Edina here tonight, and moving on against the Moorhead team that's going to have their hands full tomorrow. Although they've got some fine hockey players, it's going to be interesting to watch how Matt Cullen fares against Locker and Spear.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow night, Locker and Spear are 2 keys to this Duluth team, and Matt Cullen definitely the key to the Moorhead Hockey Club.
Well, setting the stage for tomorrow in Class A competition. The consolation championship will be played between Hutchinson and Blake. That'll be at Mariucci Arena. Following that game will be the consolation for Double A with White Bear Lake and Jefferson facing off. Third place games will feature in the Class A Red Wing and Warroad. It'll be Mayo versus Edina in Double A. And then the two championship games again will have Class A, Totino Grace versus the Falls, and Moorhead versus Duluth East in Double A. So, Louie, when you see what's happened here over the past 3 days, you've got a big championship game tomorrow night for Double A between Moorhead and Duluth East. How do you think things might fare?
I think it's going to be an interesting game. The key is going to be if Duluth East can get out and get another quick lead like that. They seem to play much better when they jump off to that fast lead. Last night when they got ahead of Jefferson 1-0, Josh DeWolf came down and he had a wide open net. He made a great play. Just missed he had a hole open net, just missed the side by about 3-4 inches. And that seemed to turn the game around. I think if Jefferson would have scored there, it would have been a real tight game all the way through. But they didn't, and Duluth East just goes on from there, and they do it again tonight. They're quick starters, and Moorhead's got to watch that doesn't happen tomorrow.
Our Lincoln Mercury scoreboard shows the final here from the semifinal tonight. Let's go downstairs with Jeff Grayson.
All right, thank you very much, Wally and Lou. I am with Dave Spihar. Dave, 2 games, 2 hat tricks. Wow, you must be sky high right now.
Yeah, it feels good, and again, it's my teammates get me the puck, and I'm on the easy end of it.
Everybody watching you and your team talks about how explosive you guys are. How would you describe your team?
Explosive, like you say. We are an offensive team mostly, and we're explosive at times, and that helps when you're not a great defensive team.
Now you're in the championship game. Your thoughts as you head to tomorrow night and you'll play those Spuds? Actually, it's later today by how late it is.
Well, Moorhead's a great team, and they got some great key players, as you know, probably, and I'm sure it's going to be a heck of a game up and down the rink.
Did you keep an even keel pretty much after the great win that everyone was talking about over Jefferson?
Yeah, we did. We knew that was a great win, and we were really happy, but we knew we had to come back and regroup and be ready for Edina because they're a great hockey team.
Dave, congratulations. Thanks for talking with us. That's Dave Spihar. 2 straight hat tricks in the 1995 state hockey tournament, and we will be back with more from the St. Paul Civic Center when we come back.
Super America gasolines with Injector Guard Plus have passed BMW's tough performance test. But what really matters to us is delivering on Jim's Gimme Power test and handling Caroline's Please Don't Freeze on Me Now test with ease. Every year, almost 1 billion gallons of Super America gasoline and over 70 years of refining experience are put to the test, and we never stop coming out ahead.
Super America, we never stop.
Know what to do to get cool free stuff?
Throw yourself off a cliff?
No.
Take a 70-foot nosedive?
No.
Wrestle an alligator? Yeah!
No.
Oh.
Just do the do. Then collect special do bottle caps for shirts, shorts, hats, and other cool free stuff.
Now can we get tossed from a plane?
No.
This is Hardee's Sandwich of the Month, the delicious bacon cheeseburger. Why? Because Americans have had a love affair with bacon cheeseburgers for years. And at Hardee's, you can get this big, juicy bacon cheeseburger with medium fries and a medium drink for just $2.99. And there isn't a better, more popular combination on earth than a bacon cheeseburger with fries and a drink. Hardee's Bacon Cheeseburger Combo, just $2.99. Big taste, little money, and that's what people want.
My dad once said, 90% of sports is from the neck up. Experience tells me he was right. They say only the strong survive. Experience tells me it's true. Now, I know I'm just a rookie, but I see what it takes to succeed. Hard work, strength, experience.
Your GMC truck dealers are a proud sponsor of this telecast.
We are are back at the St. Paul Civic Center. There is the score from our final game this evening. The only non-one-goal game that we had here tonight. Duluth East defeating Edina 6-2. The other games were all very hotly contested. Well, as the Eagles used to say late at night, the big old house gets lonely, but don't turn the nightlight off yet. Lou and Wally are upstairs with the final statistical wrap. Fellas?
We're ready to turn off the night lights.
That's right.
Okay, let's get down with our final statistical summary here, brought to you by U.S. West Direct Yellow Pages. And when we flip the page over for our shots on goal, not as many shots taken in that third period, but they really didn't need to be that many taken. Edina tried. They just couldn't dent the armor of Duluth East. Too many fast breakouts for the Greyhounds, and they overwhelmed them with a 23-15 shots on goal advantage. Also picked up a couple more goals in that period, and that pretty well salted things away for the Hounds.
East was in control all night long. It just seemed like whatever they had to do to keep ahead, they did, and that just seemed to satisfy them. They got good balance. They used their people right. They were fresh all the way through, and Edina was fighting hard. Edina kept getting better as the game went along, but they just don't have enough to beat this Duluth Hockey Club.
Well, tomorrow afternoon, it'll be a 2:15 start, as we'll have the Class A championship game. Frank Mazzacco and Tom Reed will be on hand with that. Lou Nanny and I will be back for the nightcap to decide the Class AA championship. And first of all, we're going to tell you a little bit about the top players out of this game tonight, brought to you by your Heartland Chevy Geo dealers.
Not too hard to pick. Spihar again with a second hat trick. 3 goals tonight, #1 star. Locker with 4 assists, played outstanding all the way through. Danny Carlson, who got a goal for Edina, but really was a factor every time he was out there. And Neil Johnson also played very well on that line. So those are our 3 stars for tonight's game.
It was a good one. We hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm really looking forward to that clash tomorrow. I think it should be a very interesting game. You've got that strength of Moorhead versus the high-scoring power of the Greyhounds. Let's go back downstairs now with Jim Gilliland.
Thank you, Wally and Lou. Good job as usual, and we'll see you tomorrow for the championship. We'll be back to wrap it up as you look at the celebrating Greyhounds of Duluth East. They're in the championship tomorrow night. We'll return to the 1995 Minnesota State High School Boys Hockey Tournament.
This is Will McFeeder. He runs a used car lot, actually 4 of them.
Come on in and have a seat.
The small business group at US West helped the computers at each of his lots talk to each other.
Look here, lot 4's got one.
Why, if everything ran this smoothly, Will's new lot would reach as far as the eye could see. People would come from miles around. The bigwigs in Detroit would ask his advice. Things would be good. Real good. But right now, he's got work to do. You know your business.
Timing's up.
And we know ours, the small business group at US West.
This is the all-new Geo Metro, loaded with big car features like 2 airbags and great gas mileage, but with a very tiny price. Now, this is the Geo Prism, ranked among J.D. Power's top 10 vehicles in initial quality. It also has a great price, only $199 a month for 36 months. And this is the Geo Tracker, 4-wheel drive fun for a 2-wheel drive budget. 3 great Geos, 3 great prices, at one great place, your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealers.
What brings you the news earlier than anybody else, and you don't even have to embarrass the neighbors to get it? Now a newscast that fits real people's schedules. Get the point? You know, the point.
It's Party Animal TV on UP at Monday.
You're a dead duck, platypus.
A crazed color may make Richard an endangered species.
Apparently, the show is very popular with psychos 18 to 34.
Enter a bodyguard who's hung up on his body.
I gladly would have caved his face in for you.
She'll put her life on the line.
If my body isn't pressed right up against yours, you could die.
And she won't take no for an answer.
Decisions.
Will you get off the hook? Find out on Platypus Man.
Monday at 8 on UPN 9.
That's the late night story. Make that the early morning story here for the St. Paul Civic Center. Duluth East moves into the championship, beating Edina 6-2. They'll meet Moorhead in the wrap-up tomorrow at 8:15 for the AA title. International Falls and Totino Grace comes your way at 2:15. Both games live and in their entirety. That'll make it 14 hockey games from this building over the 4 days, and we're looking forward to the exciting championship Saturday here on Minnesota 9. We invite you to stay tuned for Minnesota 9 news immediately following the telecast here. And so for our game announcers, Frank Mazzacco and Tom Reed, Wally Shaver and Lou Nanny. For Jeff Grayson and Andy Skoogman, I'm Jim Gilliland saying so long from the Civic Center. We'll see you tomorrow at 2.